doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall, Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100 and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Allow me to get a bit sappy. For women, jewelry isn't just a gift. It's a timeless symbol of love and appreciation. You have to get this right. No fleeting trends or gadgets will make the impact. Every time she wears it, every time she gets a compliment, you win. Trust me, guys. You'll get your money worth. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Early break.
Kevin says, the old days were absolutely not better times. Lots of hardships. Life in 2025 is better than ever.
Oh, I love when we get these jokes back. I love
Good joke, good
I love
one.
the joke. You're good.
Good one, Kevin.
You're hilarious, Kevin. You keep it up.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome in to Ticket Weeknights. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As always, you guys can join in 402-464-5685. That is the Sartor Heyman text line. You can also put a face to the voice. Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, channel 961 if you got Allo cable, as always. This is the Husker Football Hour with Tom Shatel of the Omaha World Herald. So let's go ahead and bring him in. Tom Shatel, how's it going on what has been a beautiful Monday here?
Yeah, Harrison, good. Thanks for having me. I was gone last week. Went up to Chicago to see my daughter, the law student. So every sports writer needs a good lawyer. So I got that taken care of and came home. And, you know, it was just there's always news. There's always things to talk about around Husker Nation. So let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a few oddball things I want to get into as well. Down the road here, I want to talk. There is some possible intrigue, Savannah Banana Ball right here in Lincoln. But speaking about it, the Windy City,
Yeah.
I want to go start with this here first, since you just mentioned about being up there in Chicago. That being what has been kind of the base of operations for the Big Ten Conference. Now with all this expansion, adding all these other teams in there, do you think the Big Ten maybe shops around on some other locations?
For a conference office?
Yes.
No, I think the only place you'd go would be LA, and that's not in the there's too many schools around Chicago, driving distance, flying. I mean, it's right in the middle. I mean, it's the national East Coast to West Coast, and Chicago's right in the middle. It's an incredible city. And Chicago is Big Ten. When you say Big Ten, you think of Chicago. You think of Chicago, you think of Big Ten. Yeah, I don't think that'll happen. What would happen was they might farm out a basketball tournament. Like they think they're going to go to Vegas a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe, we have the baseball, would the football championship game move out west to Vegas? Maybe. I mean, I can see Vegas as kind of the hub of the West now. I mean, there's no, LA has a big stadium, but I don't know that they would do that. I mean, what I'd like to see is, I'd like to see the Big Ten championship game. I'd be playing the Rose Bowl. I mean, who would argue with that? I mean, you're probably going to have great weather, and all the Big Ten, all the old school Big Tens would probably love to play in the Rose Bowl. So, Nebraska will be there next year with UCLA, but get that into the rotation somehow.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. I don't think you would hear really too much pushback at all if they decide to go that route, or at least put it out there for some food for thought. But let's talk about it. I already hinted at it. Savannah Bananas, our guy from Nebraska baseball, Kyle Perry, obviously, for those who weren't following the story, ends up, kind of joining Savannah's later through their recruiting process. He's down there now. They're getting ready for their season. And he challenged our current AD, Troy Dannon, about having Memorial Stadium host some Savannah Banana Ball when he realized he got signed there. And Dannon actually responded on Twitter about making it happen, paraphrasing here. I want to hear your thoughts on that, on how realistic of a possibility it is. They have been doing it at other college football fields, so it wouldn't be like the first time they've done something like this. But I am curious what that'd look like here in Nebraska, and if Memorial Stadium would be kind of capable of hosting something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a baseball fan. I don't know much about those guys. I've never seen them. I've never seen them on TV. I know about them. I know it's sort of a Globetrotters type of.
Yeah, that's a good way to kind of put it. A little more competitive, but it's certainly more catered to the fan experience than it is about kind of, I don't want to say the wins and losses on the field, but they really put an emphasis on making sure the fans have a good time, regardless of who wins.
Yeah, and I guess it would be a summer thing, I'm guessing.
Yeah, for sure. I'd have to, because that's where I believe it was Clemson. They did something down there, and that was during the summer to kind of tease and preview some of their upcoming seasons and get more eyes on it.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of wouldn't work is the field surface. It's going to be grass eventually. Would they want that on? I don't know that would be that big of a deal, but I mean, I think they want to turn that stadium into an entertainment venue. It's probably been underutilized over the years. I mean, it's kind of the a cathedral of Nebraska. It's like the holy place. You don't want to, when you go in, it's for football only. But I'd like to see that, just different stuff. And we're in an age now where any way you can make a buck is going to help. Anybody you can raise money to get those players is going to be welcome. So, yeah, why not?
It's one of those where I'm not, like I said, I don't know what the logistics would look like when you actually go to Memorial Stadium with the grass and how much money, but it does seem like another opportunity for Nebraska just to get some eyes on it. And, even if you're not the biggest fan of Savannah Bananas, you can't deny the social media following they have. They do a good job getting eyes on them. So I think it's cool atmosphere for those guys. And also, I can't remember who the country artist that was, but you're definitely right. Memorial Stadium maybe has been underutilized a little bit. Anytime they do something there, it's a massive success. The worst case scenario was at that concert. They're having a hard time just keeping up with the sales, but otherwise everything was fantastic for it. I do want to switch it up a little bit, kind of talking Husker football here. Want to talk some big picture stuff. How confident are you with this offensive line as it sits right here? Obviously, I do want to talk about a possible transfer portal target who's got the 1 year left out of Notre Dame. But even without him, just kind of looking at this team, in particular the offensive line, how we feeling in this offseason?
Well, I'll probably look at it closer when spring ball comes up. But I got to replace the center. Mm-hmm. And they're going to get Teddy back, and hopefully healthy. And I guess he'd be one of the tackles. I feel good about it. I think it got better. Interestingly, it got better when Dana Holgerson showed up. I don't know why. He played drums, sprinkled some magic dust on him, or gave him a kick in the butt or something, but they seem to block better. Maybe that's my imagination, but I really thought they did a better job. And Nebraska has been more physical every year. The emphasis is real. they are more physical. They certainly, I don't know if they pushed Iowa around, but they certainly matched Iowa, which is always hard. They, you had J.J. Watt going on Twitter after the Wisconsin game, complaining about how Nebraska pushed them around.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't need any more validation than that. So I like the direction. I think it could be. I think everything to get to the next level, 9 wins. I think everything has to be better, including the offensive line.
Yeah, and if when I look at that offensive line, I know we've talked about this before, but I do think just keep them realize that offensive line coach was a really big move in front of a lot of pressure, because that was kind of the one guy that the offensive line just in general at Nebraska has kind of been the scapegoat for a lot of reasons. But they kept him around, and it has, in my opinion, gotten consistently better. But there is the news: if you bring in Notre Dame, who is current on 3, looking to go visit Nebraska, Michigan, hoping that he doesn't commit so they can get him down there at Michigan. But the next one coming up for him is Nebraska. You get Rocco Spindler out of Notre Dame, who's got 1 year of eligibility left, played a phenomenal year down there at Notre Dame. Now you add another really good piece, and it does kind of add to this picture of year 3, which can be an infamous year 3 for a lot of coaches, or it can be that takeoff year. Even if you don't get this piece, but if you do, it adds a lot. What are the expectations now for year 3? You're getting interest from these 4-star, these big transfer recruits. You're getting some of them. Well, what are we looking like for year 3 expectations and Matt Rule?
Well, you want to keep improving. You want to have another jump. I think the expectations are the things that have to be cleaned up. Still, get those cleaned up. And, they had a couple of games where there were penalties and turnover, just, got in the way. I think, more talent. I think talent erases mistakes. That's kind of how it's an old school. The teams with the most talent seem to make the few mistakes. So, I think, the receivers need to be upgraded. That we probably have. We'll see. Tight ends. I think Harburg will be. I think he's going to be a real sleeper there, and then you got Carter Nelson that's going to fit in there, probably as a hybrid of some sorts. But Rayola and Holgerson together, I think, be interesting. Is how much I don't know how much they got done recruiting the portal together, but I think in the spring they'll be able to make another run at some people, and I just think that's very attractive to be able to play with a guy like Raiola and Holgerson's offense. I think it's an offense that has certainly sent a lot of people to the NFL. I think that those are the magic words. Obviously playing time, but developed to the NFL and NIL money. And Nebraska is going to have a chance to offer all 3 of those.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, when you look at this combination of Holgerson and Dylan Raiola, it's you saw it versus Wisconsin, what it can really look like when it's firing on all cylinders. And when you say air raid, it wasn't like in that game versus Wisconsin. You saw Dylan Raiola just dropping back over and over, throwing the ball downfield every chance he got. He was taking shots, but it's still a more balanced approach than I think when people do hear the quote-unquote air raid. Looking at the running back room, though, for Nebraska, this one's a little bit interesting because through the years, we've really struggled to have the quote-unquote bell cow. But now, with them and Johnson, I mean, is this the year where we finally have that running back go ahead and get that 1,000-yard season? Or do you maybe think differently with Dana Holgerson and what he likes to do?
I think Dana will do whatever he needs to do to win. But I think he would probably prefer to use the running backs out of the backfield. A short pass is and a long run is as good as that's the kind of running game. I think he'd like to open that up a little bit and really loosen up some defenses. I don't know that they have the running backs. I mean, I think Johnson, the guy that's going to go 20-some carries a game, and I think he can, but I think Holgerson would rather use him having space too, where he's very good. So I don't know. I think we don't know enough about this offense. We had 4 games, it seemed like 3 or 4 games, and I think that the bowl game was hard to, that turf and the mud and the rain. But what I was impressed with, Harris, is being able to get inside the 5-yard line and load up and go right in. Of course, using my favorite fullback,
for the polar bear?
Yeah.
Robinson with the big, nice pancake on
number
it.
9. Yeah, that's my favorite fullback. Sorry, Joe, Makovica. But, no offense, Tom Rathman. But, yeah, I mean, just the glee on his face, using a defensive lineman to go get his turn to, lay out somebody. I love that. So I'm looking forward to more of that. And I think, Coach Rule a year ago talked about the 49ers offense. I don't even know if the 49ers know what their offense is after the last season. They had so many injuries. But I think it's an offense that uses, Christian McCaffrey as a receiver, but also a runner. So I think there's hybrids in this offense. There's sort of a mentality of it's going to be versatile. It's going to be it can hurt you in a lot of ways and have guys who make plays in a lot of ways. So I'm looking forward to it. I just think it's got to be cleaned up. It's got to be smoother, and that starts with all 3 areas, but especially special teams. Let's get that figured out once and for all.
Yeah, I mean, real quick here, what do you make of the special teams woes? And it's such a broad question, but it is one where it's been such a bizarre thing for Husker football, where it's you fix this thing, and then the next game it's the snap, the next game it's a leaky return, the next game, and then we're trying to figure out, is it coaches, is it confidence? Where do you decide on, not just this year, but it's been years where special teams has rarely put together full games.
Yeah, it's special teams are the personnel, but emphasis, priority. And they claim that has been a priority, but it needs to be a bigger priority. And I think, our favorite radio host and coach, Coach Bill Bush, I talked to him about this last month, and he said, you've got to have a special teams coach who can sell it to the starters, and he's talking about Alabama, where oh God, I'm losing my mind. The 2 Heisman winners who played for the Ravens and the Eagles. Eagles receiver Smith, Devontae Smith, and then Derrick Henry. He said that those 2 were the lead blockers on special teams in Alabama. I mean, these guys were Heisman winners, multi-millionaire futures, and they couldn't wait to play special teams. So, Coach Bush was saying that's the mentality you have to have, where people can't wait to get out there and add to the team, add to winning, make it's an important deal. So I think that's sort of, and that was always Nebraska. Nebraska was always better than anybody in the country at special teams. And there was always a punt return for a touchdown or set up something inside the 20. There was always a block punt. There was, just efficiency. And Nebraska hasn't had the personnel to do a lot of that. I think they've tried, but it's, we've struggled with the running backs over the years and guys who could, the game breakers. And so you need to get them back, returning punts. And some coaches that Nebraska's had that probably didn't want to, risk them getting hurt. There weren't a lot of guys behind them. So it's special teams can be better than they have been, but they're really good when you've got depth. You've got a special teams coach, usually some guy whose hair's on fire, and he's got everybody fired up and ready to go. So, I think Rule understands that, and I give him credit. The last year, he basically demoted two of his buddies. Well, I guess Dana Holgerson's also his buddy, so he couldn't have a lot of buddies. But especially the buddies who can really help you win. So now he's got to go find somebody to do special teams. I've got a feeling we're going to hear something pretty soon. So I'm anxious to hear who it is.
Yeah, that's kind of where, you're looking at across Nebraska football, across the staff in particular. That's kind of the last shoe to really drop. But I do think, putting the emphasis on it, because I ask this to Marty Pearson all the time when I get the opportunity, obviously being part of one of those better special teams units through the years. And that's one thing he gave Bo Pelini credit for. And you're right, was the amount of emphasis he put on it, and not just selling it to DeMornay. He'd always claim the real magic in it was like selling it to the guys that at that point in time had to go create the wall, like to get those guys fired up. He's like, and DeMornay will say it himself, he loved running the ball back, but it's getting those other guys fired up to go and actually block for him. And that's where you get those big momentum plays. And that's going to be a big one. I mean, I think I'll ask you this before we throw it to our first break here. To me, that's kind of going to be, I think, talent-wise, like the coffin and nail to really derail this third year with Matt Rule. Offensively, I'm going to have faith, and I hope Dylan Raiola continues to progress the right way. I think the offensive line has been getting better. Defense, because it's Butler, I don't think that's too much of a change of what they know with White, so I don't expect a massive drop-off from there. I expect pretty much improvement everywhere. Special teams is the one area, though, that feels like it can sink the ship. Not necessarily get them fired. I don't think that's coming anywhere soon. But they're certainly derail that year 3.
Yeah, I think defense, can they get the pressure and the push up front that they had? Can they keep that going? Will there be a drop off, or will it be as good or better? That's a big thing on defense. Offensively, we haven't talked about this yet, but can they use Dylan as a runner, not option or getting hit all the time, but hey, when he's back in the pocket, don't get sacked, go, run. And, yesterday, the AFC game, Josh Allen, that play, he's a good runner, but they blitzed him. You got to be able to offset that kind of stuff somehow, or maybe see it coming or whatever. But I think a running game where Dylan can take off and get meaningful yards is something that I think will be worked on this spring. You don't want to get him hurt, but it's such a weapon. I think you have to take advantage of it, and he's going to be athletic enough to do that. And another topic for another show, but I'd like to see sliding outlawed in football. It's not a football play. It's not a football move. You're a football player. You should be able to get hit. And I've seen them, like the list of Nebraska quarterbacks over the years who dished out more punishment than they took is a long list. So, you know what I mean? So, those guys ran the option. I'm just saying, quarterback's a football player. I'd like to see, a couple of times Dylan slid too soon and didn't get the first down. So, go into him. Just, lower your shoulder. I know it's a multi-million-dollar shoulder. Easy for me to say, but I hate sliding. I wish they'd just take it out.
I agree. And just a quick add my 2 cents to it. I don't even think it's that great. What you actually see what happens a lot of times on the slides is the quarterback starts to slide. Their head gets to about waist level, about where that defender ends up diving. And that's how you get a lot of these like really bad targeting calls. Well, I should say calls. Like it's the right call, but the targeting is a result of the QB sliding right at the moment. And then you're going in there with zero momentum. You take that all.
It's almost more dangerous sliding.
I think it is. You see quarterbacks in the NFL, you'll see some of them. Why do you think they do this? They slide. They'll turn their back. So that way when they're sliding, they're almost kind of twisting to have their head facing down so they can kind of get away from that head blow already. It is one of those things where you see it happen enough where it's like, is this really necessarily protecting you guys? Like maybe it protected the arm, but sure it's not the head right there. All right, we'll throw it to break. We'll keep talking some Husker football on the other side. We got Tom Shatel of the Omaha World Herald. Harrison Arns back here at 93.7 The Ticket Studios. We'll talk to you in a little bit.
Right now, when you drive by Honda of Lincoln, you'll see more than 200 new Hondas and over 125 pre-owned vehicles. Hi, Charlie Stone here, and with me on the line is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, how does it feel to have so many vehicles in stock again for your customers?
Charlie, it feels amazing to see how excited our customers are. They love the ability to see, test drive, and take immediate delivery of the exact new Honda they're looking for.
Do you have some good offers to talk about?
We sure do, Charlie. We're offering financing as low as 0.9% APR up to 72 months, or great lease rates on every new Honda. It's the perfect time to drive away in the new Honda you've been dreaming of.
How about pre-owned, Andy?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Just about every make and model with prices starting at under $10,000.
Maybe it's time you experience the best, the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and is currently searching for journeyman plumbers to join their team. Experience is preferred, but not required for all applicants. When you join the team at Davis Plumbing, you'll receive full benefits package with paid time off. Join a small local business doing big things in Lincoln and surrounding areas. Apply today by calling 402-525-6922 or find them on social media. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option. Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Greens at 402-467-4444 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-4444.
The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Allow me to get a bit sappy. For women, jewelry isn't just a gift. It's a timeless symbol of love and appreciation. You have to get this right. No fleeting trends or gadgets will make the impact. Every time she wears it, every time she gets a compliment, you win. Trust me, guys, you'll get your money worth. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to hear their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in to Ticket Weeknight, Husker Football Hour with Tom Shatel of the Omaha World Herald. We got about 10 more minutes with them, so 402-464-5685. That is the Sartor Heyman text line. If you guys got any comments you want to join in, that is the number to use. All right, Tom Shatel, I'll bring you in here. Since we only got a little bit of time left, I do got a quick get in some NFL here. Just looking at it with the Kansas City Chiefs, they might be the first team ever to do a three-peat here in the Super Bowl era. I mean, where do these guys sit all the time if they pull this one off? But I will say they got an Eagles team who looks a little bit unstoppable right now. But it's kind of, I call it the LeBron James effect. You know, it's kind of similar to what the Mahomes effect is. Like, I just can't ever count them out until somebody actually beats them and the clock hits zero. But I mean, this Chiefs team's on the verge of history here.
Yeah, it's the con job is almost complete. I call it the con job because every year they go, oh, you know, Mahomes doesn't look good. He's hurt, or you know, they're winning ugly, and they got lucky. The referees and blah 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 blah, and it's just they suck everybody in, and then they go into January and they turn it up, and they're not the same team they were in a lot of those regular season games. It's a classic veteran team. It's a joy to watch a team that knows how to win and knows what to do at the right time and then does it. And you're right. There's a Mahomes factor here that psychs out people.
Oh, 100%.
It plays with their head. And I saw last year in the AFC title game, Baltimore. The Chiefs got out in front, and the Ravens with Lamar Jackson went away from their game plan, which was to run and run them at them and dominate the game and keep their offense off the field. They started passing, and because they felt like, well, it's going to be we can't stop Mahomes already. It's going to be a shootout, and that played right into the Chiefs' hands.
And that was
they won handily
in the first quarter, too. And I think you're right. Like the first quarter, they bailed from their game plan.
Yes, and so I would have liked to seen that rematch this year with Derrick Henry. Now, do you dare go away from him? But they didn't beat the Bills. But yesterday, look at that. Yeah, the Bills have won at Arrowhead, not in the playoffs, but they know Arrowhead. They've beaten the Chiefs. They beat them 2 months ago. But what happened? 21-10 Chiefs. Bills go down and score. They go for two. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
And then they chased two again. And it was just like, I think Sean McDermott, we love him. He's an Omaha native, psyched out because you think you've got to score all these points because Chiefs are going to keep scoring. And you go out of your game plan or your comfort zone or what you're doing, and that's what he does. And the Eagles look really good, and the Chiefs haven't looked like a world beater all season, but that doesn't matter. Now they know how to win the game. They know Eagles might get ahead and Barkley might go nuts in the first half. Chiefs will be sitting back going, we got them right where we want them. And that's so the Eagles might win, but I think you're crazy if you pick against the Chiefs because they know how to win these games. It's the coach and the quarterback, and it's amazing. It's just amazing to watch. And Andy Reid, was already a good coach, but now he's an all-timer. And
well, look at the Super Bowl matchup. All-time winningest coach in Eagles history, Andy Reid.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's incredible. And so I'm anxious to see it. I mean, it'll be great. On the other hand, I kind of want him to go away. Tired of it. I'm mostly tired of seeing these guys on TV, all the commercials and all that stuff. So, but it'd be nice to see somebody else in the Super Bowl. But I also appreciate greatness. Remember talking with the late great Bob Gibson one time, and he was rooting for the Yankees or something. And I said, "Why are you rooting for the Yankees?" He goes, "I root for excellence. I want to see excellence, and I want to see the best teams win." And I never forgot that. And my thought is, I wrote this the other day, go get it, Chiefs. Go win 3. Be that team that has never, stand out in history all by yourself. And then sit the next one out, would you please, so we can have somebody else next year.
That's a great way to put it. You are right, though. We see that happen all the time with great athletes. Obviously Kobe Bryant, to me, is always like one of the most noticeable. Like, everybody doesn't like him until he retires, and you're like, that I miss watching him. Tom Brady, same thing. Everybody kind of hated him, was tired of it after he retires, especially, after what he did with the Buccaneers. There was a huge respect for him. You don't want to be late to that party, especially when you're watching it live and you have the opportunity to watch it live. But I will say, as much as I'd like to, watch some more history, it just feels like Eagles might have a serious chance in this one. Jalen Hurts looked awesome in this one. I'm not going to pick against Mahomes. I'm not going to pick against what is currently the greatest quarterback, greatest player in the game right now. But the Eagles do look good. All right, enough on that. We only got a little bit of time here left. And I know it's been a couple weeks since you've been on here, and it's a little bit of old news, but still relative nonetheless. Just to switch it up here, with the passing of Jack Hoffman, obviously 2013, I believe, was that spring game run that made national media, all for the right reasons. Just kind of what was that legacy to you? And I shouldn't say what was, it continues to be, but what is that to you?
I remember when it happened, and the spring games are full of all kinds of things. And at first I was going, well, who's this kid out there in a uniform? I said, what's kind of a fun deal? Mm-hmm. But then we figured out what it was and who he was and what was going on. And it became this I mean, almost this. It was an iconic play. You knew it was an iconic thing as you were watching it. It didn't need to simmer over time. You knew when you were watching it that this is unbelievable and something that you're going to remember forever. And then I interviewed Andy, the father, right after that on the phone. We talked for an hour, and just what an incredible family, incredible man, and just the whole story, the things they did, the money they raised, all the things they went through, and then now the tragedy of the father and son both passing, and Jack Hoffman is the spirit of Nebraska football, the heart and soul of what this thing is all about. And we won championships and all that, but it's kind of why we do it, kind of why we watch, kind of what we want to see the program be about, and fight, heart, soul. And so I wonder, we could have a million statues. Should there be a something for Jack somewhere around the stadium? I'd be all for it. I don't know where it would go or what it would be, but I would love to see something. Maybe there's a thing to put in the end zone where he scored, kind of a plaque, or maybe, I don't know. There's got to be something that, or maybe outside the football complex, or I don't know. But father and son, it'd be great. But we'll never forget it. And then, we lost another Husker this past week.
Jones.
The great Calvin Jones. And I'll never forget the first time I saw him with a football, which I didn't. 91 was my first year here, and I didn't see him at Omaha Central. But it was like he was, the classic phrase, shot out of a cannon, but almost like he fell in, like he dropped in, with a parachute on the scene. A fella came in, out of the sky. It takes the ball and just boom, the acceleration. I've never seen acceleration by anybody like that. That the KU, there is so many. Calvin has so many memorable runs and plays that will stick with you forever. And you can see him running, and maybe a little mix of anger and passion, way he played, just with that size and the way he accelerated. He reminded me a lot of Marcus Dupree, who I saw the 1 year he played, and that's like the highest compliment I can pay. Marcus Dupree is the greatest running back I've ever seen, and we say, who's the greatest Nebraska running back ever? A lot of the names that come up first are Lawrence Phillips or else Mike Rozier. And some will say Bobby Reynolds, and some will say Jeff Kinney, and so on and so forth. But usually LP and Rozier are kind of the guys you talk about first. Calvin Jones was the greatest running back in Nebraska at any given moment in his career. And there were times when you watched him that he was that guy. So he was something else.
Well said. And you're totally right. If you can just still look at his track times that he had over there at Omaha Central. I mean, you can just read some of those numbers. Unreal athlete. Well said. Tom Shatel, I know we got to let you go here, but I do appreciate the time as always. And as always, where can the people find you if they want to read some of your stuff or even give you a follow on social media?
Yeah, Omaha.com. I don't tweet a lot, but once in a while I do. And, my email, Shatel at OWH.com. So I always answer emails and happy to, whatever questions anybody would have. And I love coming on here. So I'll hopefully talk to you next week.
Absolutely. We'll let him go. That was Tom Shatel of the Omaha World Herald. Always appreciate him joining us every Monday from the 6 to 7 o'clock hour. Talking a lot of Husker football, even sprinkling a little bit of NFL there. But we are up to a break. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and throw it to break here. We'll have one more segment on the other side, and then we'll switch things up. Don't punt hour with the morning Pearsonell at 7 o'clock.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl, Jordan, with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Allow me to get a bit sappy. For women, jewelry isn't just a gift. It's a timeless symbol of love and appreciation. You have to get this right. No fleeting trends or gadgets will make the impact. Every time she wears it, every time she gets a compliment, you win. Trust me, guys, you'll get your money worth. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays. Games of bowling, shoe rental, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Right now, when you drive by Honda of Lincoln, you'll see more than 200 new Hondas and over 125 pre-owned vehicles. Hi, Charlie Stone here, and with me on the line is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, how does it feel to have so many vehicles in stock again for your customers?
Charlie, it feels amazing to see how excited our customers are. They love the ability to see, test drive, and take immediate delivery of the exact new Honda they're looking for.
Do you have some good offers to talk about?
We sure do, Charlie. We're offering financing as low as 0.9% APR up to 72 months, or great lease rates on every new Honda. It's the perfect time to drive away in the new Honda you've been dreaming of.
How about pre-owned, Andy?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Just about every make and model with prices starting at under $10,000.
Maybe it's time you experience the best, the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to hear their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger. And future stronger you can get started now by saving $28 or more when you join today. You in? We have all the best in-class equipment you could ever need to keep stepping it up. And you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 31st. See Home Club for details.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Greens at 402-467-4444 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-4444.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. Wrapping things up here solo just for the last few minutes of this first hour here on Ticket Weeknights. Like I said, the morning Pearsonell, he'll be coming on after 7 o'clock. We'll have some Husker Bowlers in here tonight as well. Julian Martin, Kayla Starr, as they're coming back from one of their meets on the road. A little bit of time here left, so strategically, I'm gonna talk about Husker hoops here because I don't know how much time I do want to spend on it. During Sunday, I was working through most of this game, so I was just catching it above. Didn't do the post-game show as a result. Austin Orman, if old school and on the block, took care of that one, and I am gracious that he did so. It's starting to look pretty rough here for Husker hoops. It's getting to the point where you don't want to punt on the season, but you are starting to cross things off to play for the longer the streak goes on here. They dropped another one to Wisconsin. Now it's on the road. I don't know how many people were picking Nebraska to go ahead and win this game on the road versus a good Wisconsin team. Still 55-83, though, was the final score. It's one thing to lose. It's another one thing to once again not be competitive. That's twice now where you're really just kind of getting embarrassed. That happened in Purdue in a way that was unprecedented. This is another one where times Nebraska was coming back and just would fall apart offensively. Major stallouts. That's been the biggest problem for this team all year is defensively, they can get some stops. You can argue about late possession. They don't always get good stops late in the games. Fine. Problem is offense stalls out way too much, inconsistently, and almost always at the end of games. So that you can not great for winning ball games, especially ball games that are close. And that's another not great stat for Nebraska is you see that in a lot of these close games, they're not having those clutch shots, those fourth quarter points. You see it in the NBA. They analyze them to the point where you have data on who the best clutch shooters are. If you were to analyze the Big Ten, nobody on Nebraska basketball is unfortunately making that list. Hopefully it changes, but if you just take a wild swing at it, have not been great closeout games. And in this game in particular, the shooting's just getting worse as the season's going on here. Field goal percentage, 33%. Nebraska shot 21 for 62. 3-point percentage, 10 for 30. So you shot 33% there. Free throws, 3 for 8. 37% from the free throw line. Round up, be nice, 38. You lost in the rebounds by a decent margin, 35-43. You lost in the assists, 13-18. You had one more block, but 12 turnovers to their 8. You lost that battle. You lost on fast for 8 points, 7 to their 12. Points in the paint, and you lost 20 to their 26. Tied on the fouls. Largest lead for Wisconsin, 31 points. Nebraska never had a lead in that one. It's getting to a point where I don't know where the answers come from. This game was different, right? You start Sam Hoiberg, you start Andrew Morgan. I clearly trying to fix the offensive woes of this team, hoping that even if we don't get the production off there, the guys coming off the bench that usually start, okay, we'll just have a much better bench. The bench did not play great in this one either, despite kind of moving some of your starters around, having them come off the bench. Husker Hoops was still unable to generate points consistently, even despite, with those different lineups up there. We'll talk about it more on the Dome Punt Hour because there is still some season left. But I think that's 1-2. We're on a 6-game losing streak now with that one. And these games coming up here are not getting any easier. It's a ranked Illinois team, and a ranked Oregon team. 2 more conference opponents. So we'll talk about that more on the Dome Punt Hour. Appreciate you guys listening. This has been the Husker Football Hour with Tom Shatel, who joined us on those first 2 segments. Be sure to stay tuned. We'll keep Ticket Weeknights rolling right here at 93.7 Ticket, ticketfm.com.